Welcome back. You're tuned into Sports Federation TV. Now, the Western Cape is made up of 6 regions. For the purposes of sports specifically, we've got 6 regions, and each region caters to a variety of sports. And each of these sports has their own federation or their own management committee. And I'm sure just by going onto Facebook, you can find any sport and any federation, and you'll be able to get more information. Now, another way you can get information is by liking our Facebook page. That's Sports Federation TV on Facebook, for all the interviews we've had in the past, where you can get most of the information you need. Now, joining me from one of the 6 regions, the Cape Winelands again, we have 2 guests from the world of action netball, and I'm very happy to welcome Roseline, Wolmarans, and Pearl Benjamin. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's just get right into it. We've got netball and we've got action netball. Roseline, can you tell us what the difference is between those two?
Yes, let's start with action netball first. Action netball are mainly played inside. It's a shorter version of your outside netball, where you can use the nets, which with outside netball you can't use the nets. You've got the open field there, and there's nothing to assist you with retaining the ball again. You can play the ball against the net and play it back to you again. It is very fast. It is still those 7 players on court as much as it is outside, so that is quite the same. And the rules are basically the same, except for the fact that you can use the nets.
So the nets are almost like team members.
Yes, that's also part of the net. Is also part of the players, the 8th player, as we name it. And then when you shoot, as you know, outside, you shoot. There's nothing to assist you with the ball going into the hoop. But with action netball, you can shoot the ball against the net in order for it to assist you getting it into the hoop.
Wow, sounds exciting and different from the netball that we're all accustomed to, having been exposed to it at school and that kind of thing. Is it growing quite big in the region?
It's growing quite fast, and it's growing quite big. Take in consideration the tournaments that they have. It's not as much as outside. It's much more expensive though, but more and more people, when they want to play social netball or just to relax, like businesses, they make up teams to come and play action netball. It's their way of team building. The schools, in preparation for the outside netball or for before the netball season starts, they mainly come to action netball and then get their kids started off there.
Yeah, and ideal for inclement weather as well. Hey.
Very much, but the rules is the same, but it's always difficult to come and play inside and then have to go and enforce the rules outside, because you're limited inside because of the limited space as well. So yeah, but when it rains, you can't really play a league match. Outside league match, you can't play that inside.
Right, right. Paul, how did you get involved with the sport?
Well, I started playing netball back in grade 1, and in grade 6, when I was 12, I started umpiring. So, and I'm still currently playing for CPUT this year. So that's how I started getting involved.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have to ask you, you're a player of the sport, and then you decide to move on to umpiring. Yes. What do you think inspired that?
Well, to be honest, back in when I was 16, for the first time I got introduced to Rose at a clinic, and then I just told my teammates one day when I'm big, I'd want to be just like her. So then I started getting involved. We had contact with each other, and that's how I really you get hungry for the game. So that's why I got involved. Like, yeah.
So then now, Pearl, when people ask you, hey, you used to be a player, what happened to you? You're going to say, Rose happened to me. And Roseline, with you, how did you also end up, moving in the direction of umpiring?
Yeah, I was also a player because I originated from George, the Eden district, and playing. I was still a scholar when I played senior netball, and as it progresses, I thought to myself, one day, if netball playing starts, I need to do something else, and what would that be? So I decided then it's going to be umpiring, because I love it, just the way people handles the game. It's always different to be on court and you have the two umpires alongside the court, and you wonder why would they penalize you for certain things, and just to get to know it. So I became a playing umpire, the same as Bill. She's still playing, like she said, and she's still an umpire. So that is where I actually started in George, and then netball got me to the then Boland as well, under the flag of Tannie Benny, where I played for. I was selected for the Western Cape team Tornadoes. So umpiring came to a stop still for just for a while, because I was concentrating on the Western Cape netball that I was still playing. So yeah, that was the Now Stings, then was the Tornadoes at that time. So yeah, that is how I got to Boland. And then,
so you're a legend, in the netball world. Because we've had the Stings on before, and we said the Stings are to netball what the Stormers are to rugby.
Yes. So myself and Bronwyn Bogdanley, Matthews, Vanessa Lingeveld, we played for the then Tornadoes under Tannie Benny, Laurie Kiwi, and also that is where it started. But umpiring was all the time part of what I want to be. In 2008 in Durban, 2007, so I was still umpiring. I then had my SAB grading already, and I was one of the talent identified umpires to go to the World Cup, Senior World Cup in New Zealand, and so we call it then the cadet umpires, and I was selected as one of the umpires to go and experience the World Cup into part of the development team, and getting our young and upcoming umpires to be able to see what the stage is like out there, to be one day when we are graded to be that top level umpire, to be able to umpire there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm interested to know now, both of you are players, and you are umpires as well. And umpires are more commonly referred to as refs in other sports. Yes. And they're also kind of the unsung heroes of many sports, because people usually concentrate on the athletes themselves, or the players, and the refs are there in the background, or the umpires are there in the background. How important would you say that the development of a sport is, well, what aspect is due to the good quality refs and umpires we have?
It's a matter of, you need to understand the sport. You need to know where can I go search, and who can I contact and able to make me be or keep me in line with the growth of the sport and the changes that is within that. So on a daily basis, we attend clinics, we attend courses, we speak to, like, if I can just use an example, Tannie Benny for that matter, she also used to be an umpire.
Sounds like Tannie Benny is to you what
she's
you are
our
to
mother.
Pearl.
She's our mother in sport and all of that. So it is basically staying in touch with the changes that comes with the sport, getting on a very, very, very early stage the kids involved that maybe one day wants to play the sport, and especially because it's the fastest and the biggest growing women's sport in South Africa. And you will hear there's a lot of the legendary players that has got academies, netball schools, that where they mold the young players to become the type of high quality player they want to be one day.
Quite interesting what you're saying. Are you saying that in action netball itself, the umpires have a key role in development and recruitment?
They do, because the umpire and the coach must be in sync with each other. The coach must know the rules of the game, and as much as the umpire need to know what is the skill of that player, in order, because some of the umpires will penalize a child for one or other fault, but yet that might be a skill. And because my knowledge of that skill is not up there, therefore I might penalize the kid unnecessary. So it is very important that the two works together and work hand in hand. So what most of the schools does, their first teams, they introduce them to umpiring, and they're actually enforcing them to do the level 1 umpiring course, so that they can be in line with the rules of netball.
Pearl, now to you. From what Roseline has said and what you've said earlier as well, this is a constantly evolving game. How do umpires react to those changes? How do you cope with those changes?
Well, just to add on to what Rose said, is that Cape Winans this year has a contingency plan to actually work with the provincial graded umpires and work them up, and not just focus on the SA graded umpires, because we want them also to grow. And then just to add on to the changes of the rules, I would say personally it is a challenge, because you just learn or you just adapt to the new changes, and the following year then there's new changes. So where do you limit it?
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
So like I also feel sometimes you like I've just adapted to the previous year's rules, and now this year they completely changed it again. So that you need to go and learn new rules again and then apply it. So the application of it it's very difficult, because you and I would interpret the rule completely different and see it from a different point of view.
And it's so important as an umpire, hey, that you must know your stuff, because if the players even get a small inkling that you don't know your stuff, then they've got your number.
Definitely.
They tend to take advantage as well.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, Roseline and Paul. Thank you for joining us and sharing your passion. And I hope you've inspired some young people out there to join the sport, either as a player or an umpire. Before you go, I'm going to let you say hello to Tani Beni one more time.
Hello, Tani Beni. Hello, Annie Kloppers. Hello, everybody that's been part of me getting to the level and being my inspiration, getting to the level where I am today. And thank you for all the support of my family and my friends, as in Pearl Benjamin, whom I can be striving to be a role model for.
Lovely. All the best to you both.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, and it's time for that Bashers competition. Remember, Bashers has been around for over 120 years, and with all their assorted flavors, definitely one of Cape Town's favorite cool drinks. For your opportunity to win a case of assorted Bashers drinks, all you need to do is SMS Bashers to 33090. That's Bashers to 33090. Congratulations to last week's winner, Laura Malley. You've won that case of Bashers drinks from last week's show. After the break, we'll be back with another exciting sport, so please stay tuned.